Greetings everyone. I hope that you guys are good today. So today we're gonna be looking at the natural gas chart. So let's get straight into it. So as you guys can see, I've got the monthly chart for natural gas open, and the first thing that I can already see is that we have what seems to be an overextended W formation in this region over here, with the neckline being more or less at this level, right? Just for illustration purposes, I'm just gonna draw it so you can see exactly what it is that I'm referring to. So we have the first leg, second leg, then price went up with the neckline being in that region. As I usually say, once a W formation has been formed, ideally what we would like to see is price coming back to the neckline and then continuing straight up. Ideally, that is what I would like to see. Also, we could add the Fibonacci retracement tool to see if this neckline actually aligns with any of the key levels on Fibonacci. If it happens that the neckline is in line with the 51% or the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement zones, then it would give us an indication that price may actually go up, you know. However, we can't just buy based on that analysis. We have to get deeper into the charts and look for more reasons why we should be looking for buying opportunities at this level. Okay, let's continue. I don't see anything else that's interesting on this particular chart. I'm now gonna head over to the weekly chart. Let's get into it. There we go. I've now got the weekly chart open, and as you guys can see, the W formation that I spoke about just now is more visible on this particular chart compared to on the monthly chart, right? Got the first leg of the W, price went up, came down to create the second leg, then went up, and then we've got the neckline at this level more or less. Yeah, so let's continue. What else can we tell by just looking at this weekly chart for natural gas? I don't see anything else that's particularly interesting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head on to the daily chart. There we go. We've got the daily chart open. Let's see. Just gonna make it slightly bigger. Let's see. Okay, there we go. What else can we see by just looking at this particular chart? Let's see. Okay, there seems to be an inverted head and shoulders pattern over here, with the first leg or the first shoulder being in this region, then second shoulder being in this region, and price went up. Just to illustrate, I'm gonna try to draw it, and let's see. So we had this, price did this, created the head, went up, came back to create the second shoulder, and then shot up again, right? That's what we saw happening. What else can we tell by just looking at this particular chart? I don't see much really. So what I'm gonna do now is add a channel. I'm just gonna add a channel. There you go. Just a reminder that when it comes to plotting any lines whatsoever on your charts, just make sure that they are as accurate as possible, just to ensure that ultimately when you do execute, your executions are also accurate. Just bear with me. I'm just gonna make it, I think, a black color. There we go. So that's the daily chart. There's not much that's of value at this point in time, except that I do see this candlestick over here, which is it's a bearish candlestick with a small body and a long wick, and this tells me that at some point price also has to come to at least this level to grab some liquidity, because there's a lot of money actually trapped in that area. So that's not important at this stage, as it's still very much far. So from here I'm gonna head on to the H4 chart. Let's see. I'm just gonna fix my equidistant channel, just to make sure that it's accurate. There we go. Right. And as I said, guys, that we had rather an inverted head and shoulders pattern on the daily chart. It's more visible on the H4 chart, this being the head, this being the left hand shoulder, and this being the right hand shoulder. Okay, let's continue. So actually we expect price to complete at more or less this level, to complete this inverted head and shoulders pattern. We expect price to reach this level to complete the head and shoulders pattern. However, it doesn't always happen. We just need to keep that in mind, that it doesn't always happen. Price could actually just turn here and then head back, you know. So let's continue. Okay, what else can we see by just looking at this particular chart? I can see that let's see, we had a gap over here. However, the gap was filled. As I usually say, when it comes to gaps, there's a lot of liquidity that's trapped in those gaps. So price created a gap here, opened here, but it came down to trigger some of that liquidity before going up, right? What else can I tell? Excuse me. So at this level over here, we have this particular candlestick, which is a bullish candle with a small body and a long upper wick. So what this tells us immediately is that at this level we have a lot of liquidity that's trapped. So I'm just going to mark it so you don't forget about it. This is a very important level. Price at some point has to reach that level just to activate some of that liquidity, right? What else can I see by just looking at this particular chart? I don't think there's much. So what I'm going to do now is just add a channel on the H4 as well. Just bear with me. Let's see, how would I add a channel on this particular chart? Let's see. I would add one in this manner. Sorry, not a Fibonacci. I'm just going to delete this. There we go. Let's see, how would I add a channel on the H4 chart? I definitely would not add it in this way, because this is too steep a gradient, and what normally happens with trend lines or channels that are too steep is that they are easily broken. So what I'll do instead is add one here at this level, over here. It's almost similar to the one we have on the daily chart in terms of the gradient and the connecting points, but this is the better channel compared to the steep one. There we go. I'm just going to get glue so that we don't get confused, and we can differentiate the channel that we have on the daily chart to the one that we have on the H4 chart as we go along. Just bear with me, guys. Just trying to make sure that this line is as accurate as can be. There you go. There you go. Let's see. I'm just gonna leave it just for time purposes, but you get the picture. It should be here at this particular wick of this bearish candlestick. Oh gosh, let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. Anyway, let's continue. What else can we see? What else can we see on this particular chart? Okay, I don't see much. So what I'm gonna do now is head on over to the H1 chart. There we go. We have the H1 chart open. Let's see. Let's see. So what do we have here? On this particular chart, we seem to have this area over here, which is a strong area of support. Actually, here we have a strong area of support in this region. And as I usually say, guys, that when it comes to support is not an actual line, but it's more a general area. So what I would like to see is price coming down to retest this support at some point. However, we don't see at this point in time any selling opportunities in as far as the H1 chart goes, right? Let's see. What else can I see by just looking at this particular chart? We can see that price is actually starting to lose momentum. From this point to that point, it was a strong upward momentum, but now seeing that price is starting to lose that momentum, right? So from here, I'm just gonna head on over to the M30 chart. When it comes to execution, myself, I usually execute at this particular chart, which is the M30. So what else can I tell by just looking at this? I don't see much. But what I normally do is I would add a channel. Let's see. I would add a channel in this manner. I would add a channel in this manner. Just gonna make it red. Let's see. Right. As I said, we have the strong support area, and we'd like to see price coming down to this area just to test it out. As you can see that from this point, when price broke the resistance line or area, we didn't see a retracement back to this area. Excuse me. We also saw what seemed to be an M formation at this point. Let me just do this quickly so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We saw this, right, which is an M formation with the neckline being at this region. However, price went up instead of coming down. However, had price broken this neckline, I would have sold, and my first take profit would have been in this region over here, more or less. However, we can see the price actually did not continue with that information. Would have loved to see something like this, and then we would analyze further once price was in this region, right? Since we have this red channel, we are just gonna have to wait and see what happens next. But for now, I do not see any selling opportunities, and I would wait for price actually to close below this neckline. Let me just do this quickly. If price closes below here, below this neckline, I would look for selling opportunities to this region. However, it would have to make financial sense. The risk to reward ratio would have to make financial sense. Ideally, your risk to reward should be 3 to 1. Ideally, right? So let's just recap a bit. I'm just gonna go back to the H4 chart. Let's see. So we've got the H4 chart there. Remember I said, guys, that we have this area over here, which is an area of liquidity where the market needs to head to grab that liquidity, right? Just to go back to the daily chart. On the daily chart, I spoke about this inverted head and shoulders pattern where we had the first shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. So ideally, price should at least finish somewhere in this region, right? Just to go back to the 30-minute. So for those of you who like to sell, it would be ideal for you to wait for price to break this barrier, which is the neckline, and then at this point you might want to take a sell to this area. From here, you might want to look for actually buying opportunities, because as I said, if you look at the daily chart, we have this area over here, which is it's an area of liquidity which needs to be grabbed. So far, just to go back to the 30-minute chart, I would not do anything at this stage. I would wait, right? And if you don't sell once this neckline has been broken, rather wait for price to reach this area and then look for further buying opportunities. I'm just going to add the Fibonacci retracement tool just to see if this support area aligns. This support area over here, just bear with me, the support area over here aligns with any of the key Fibonacci retracement zones. Okay, just bear with me, guys. Okay, there we go. There we go. Can you guys see that the support area is in line with the 50% Fibonacci zone? So that's confluence number one. So should price come back to this or to retest the support area, we would look for further buying opportunities. However, we would have to look for a double formation as well as the break of the neckline of the double formation. So this is what I would like to see. I would like to see price doing this. I would like to see price doing this. Let's say the neckline here is broken. Just hang on. Let's see. I would like to see price coming down here and then forming a double formation, the neckline being there, and I would buy at this point once the neckline is broken and hold up until that liquidity candlestick that I spoke about on the I'm just going to delete this. Yeah, I would hold up until we reach this level over here, more or less, right? Yeah, so that's it, guys. And as far as natural gas goes, at this point in time, I did not see any opportunities. I'm just gonna wait and look for opportunities to execute. Thank you guys for watching this particular video. If there are any other charts that you would like me to have a look at, please just let me know in the comment section and I will do so. Thank you very much.